Hi, I'm Penny Royston, owner of Evil Sizer and Associates. I've been filing authorities for so many years, and I've seen a lot of problems. I've seen a lot of successes, and I just wanted to share my tips with you on how you can obtain your own authority without all of the problems. All right, so let's start here. Steps to become a new carrier. And let me just give you a little background about myself. I am the owner of Evil Sizer Process Servers. We're a family company. My father, Rex Evil Sizer, started the company back in 1990. So we've been around for a long, long time. This is our 31st year. And we just have a ton of knowledge in here on how to take care of you, get you started the right way. We have filed thousands of authority applications and probably close to 150,000 BOC applications or BOC filings. We know what we're doing, we know how to work with the government system, and we can help you too. So before you apply, you want to do these things. You want to go ahead and set up your corporation with your base state. That is so important. You can do it yourself online. There's most states you can do this pretty simply. You can check with your CPA, or you can go to a company like LegalZoom.com and take care of that as well. And then you're going to want to go to the IRS.gov and apply for your EIN. Typically, this takes 5 minutes and it's free. You don't have to pay anyone to do this. I know with LegalZoom they do charge an extra fee, but again, you don't need to pay that because you can go to the IRS. And then understand the timeline. So there is a timeline with the government. So if we apply today, you're not going to be active tomorrow. It just doesn't work that way. So you need to allow at least 3 weeks, depending on your scenario. If you're a new carrier, we're applying for new numbers, and we apply online, then we have our numbers right away, but it's still a 3-week process. And just know there's really no way to speed that up. If you've heard through the grapevine that there might be, there's something wrong with that scenario. It's not a legal process. So just remember there is a 3-week timeline. And of course, what is a carrier? I see a lot of confusion between freight forwarder, a motor carrier, and a broker. So I kind of want to break this down. So a carrier, and I'm talking long haul carrier, we're talking interstate carrier. Intrastate's a whole nother animal. We're not going to go and discuss that today. But interstate is sometimes crossing the state lines, or it's also a furtherance of an interstate shipment. Okay, did you catch that? I hope you did. Interstate does not always mean that you leave the state. I know, it sounds strange, right? So remember, interstate transportation, it's based off of the origin and destination of the commodity. So let's say you pick up a load from the Port of Houston and you take it to San Antonio. That's an interstate shipment, even though you didn't leave the state of Texas. And let's say you picked up cars from the Littleton, Colorado rail yard and you took those to Colorado Springs. Well, that's an interstate shipment because those cars did not originate here in Colorado. Interstate is also crossing state lines, so I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Interstate shipment. So you're actually driving the truck, or you have drivers driving the trucks. You own the trucking company. And so you're not a broker. So a broker is one who arranges transportation. They do not own any trucks. They're that middleman between the shipper and the carrier. And then a freight forwarder, that's a whole different animal too. And I get it. You look at the application, you're like, well, I'm forwarding freight, but that's not the definition. So dive into that definition. And a freight forwarder, in a nutshell, is kind of a cross between a broker and a carrier, sort of. But if you're looking to be a long haul carrier, motor carrier, then that's what you apply for, is motor carrier. So again, let's talk about the timeline. This is so critical. And this is the quickest timeline to get activated. You have time. You don't have to get it done in the 3-week timeline. And so I like to emphasize that because you're going to get letters from the government and it's going to seem like that you only have, these 30 days, but you really have up to a year. And that kind of goes into another process. But I want you to understand that no matter what letter you get from the government, you really have up to a year. Now, there might be some paperwork involved down the line if you waited a little too long, but don't worry, you're going to get to keep your MC number and your DOT number. Those are your numbers assigned for life. Now, when you activate them is a whole nother timeline. So let's just say, for example, we file authority today. And we're going to file it online. We're going to get an MC number. We're going to get a DOT number. You're going to get 1,000 marketing calls. You can disregard all of those. Then what we do here is we automatically file the BOC. And then in 2 weeks, this is what I recommend. You wait 2 weeks to file your insurance. You don't need to bind it today because it takes at least a day or two to find out if the application was accepted. So you don't want to jump the gun and get everything done today thinking you're doing a good thing. And I get it. I understand that mentality. But that's not how this works. So you're going to want to file your BOC right away. And if we do the authority for you, we do that. We handle that. And again, file the appropriate insurance in 2 weeks. Why? Because it's going to take 3 weeks anyway. So if we apply today, in 2 weeks, you file the insurance, then you're on that 3-week timeline. Because once you file the insurance, it's not active instantly. Again, the government has systems in place and timelines that they go through. So the earliest you can get your authority activated is 3 weeks, provided you use this type of timeline. And then before you head out on your first load, you're going to want to file the UCR. If you don't file the UCR right away, that's okay as long as you have it taken care of before you head out on your first load. So what if you need to take longer to activate the authority? Like I said previously, that's fine. You do have time. Now the government is going to allow you 60 to 80 days to get the application on file without having to do anything extra. But you do have up to a year. It just may require additional paperwork. So at that point, that's when, if we handle the authority for you, I'm going to look in and see what the status looks like on the government site and see what needs to be done. If you go over that year, then you need to reapply. You have to pay the $300 filing fee again, but the good thing is you get to keep the same DOT and MC number. So some states do require intrastate authority in addition to the MC and US DOT timeline. Down below, I've got all kinds of checklists, so take a look at those. I think you'll really find them helpful in trying to put all of the pieces together. And then you'll need to file an IRP, and again, there's a checklist below depending on, and it's grouped by GVW. And GVW is gross vehicle weight. That's your maximum weight. A typical semi is 80,000, for example, and like a 26-foot box truck is 26,000 pounds. So you're going to want to look at what type of truck you're going to be using and purchasing, and then look at that chart and see where you fall in what is required. So if you're interested in learning more about how to check your own authority once it's active, then I have a workshop. It's called Interstate Authority Workshop, where I teach you how to do this. It is an online platform. You can do it at your own pace. And then we also have a private MeWe and Facebook group. The MeWe group's not quite set up to where it's used all the time just yet, but the Facebook group is. And there you can connect with our partners and you can ask questions. And it's just a really good private place to get your questions answered. So you're going to learn how to monitor your account effectively. You're going to receive notifications to monitor your own account. We send those out for the first 6 months just to kind of get you in the habit. We provide you with checklists and how-to videos, so you're not going to want to miss out on that. Again, my name is Penny. I'm with Evil Sizer and Associates. Don't hesitate to call me if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye bye.